Excuse me. Can I go first?
Okay.
Anyways, guys, the two undefeated teams left in football lost, so this is gonna be a little bit awkward. But yeah, we're still gonna have to get through these rankings. So yeah, here's your week 6 power rankings. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe. We hope you guys enjoyed the NFL Week 6 power rankings. Yeah, we're almost a third of the way through the season, a regular season, that is. That's pretty crazy to think about, but a lot of things happened this week that will change things up. There were first bye weeks, so again, those teams moving around a little bit. I wouldn't take that too hard, even if you're a fan, unless, I don't know, you lost your quarterback or something, which, again, didn't actually happen. I don't want to put that out there. But we got a crazy week coming up. It'll be fun to watch. And I guess there's some big games. I know there definitely is. With that said, though, the worst team in football, the only winless team in football, actually the only team with a 0 in either column of wins or losses, that's the Jets, who are 0-5. They're the first team in NFL history to have that record and also have the record of forcing having no takeaways. So, again, the takeaways for the Jets is they suck. Their passing game's ineffective. Their running game is not being utilized right, and their defense is pretty passive. And when you're a passive defense with a passive offense, it's really hard to, not be a passive team. When you're a passive team, you usually struggle. So they're 0-5 for the third time since 1996. I mean, again, that's not I guess too outrageous, but still pretty bad. They're the worst team in football right now. Again, their record reflects that, and they also got blown out last week too. There we go. All right. 31 got the Browns. I don't actually think they're that bad. They're pretty competitive with the Vikings last week. It's just the fact that they don't really have the most talented team, and I am not really that confident in them, despite having quarterback in Dylan Gabriel, who will be getting a lot of run because Joe Flacco just got traded to the Bengals. Again, just want to mention that. But again, we'll see what happens with Shedeur Sanders too. Again, a lot of people are going to want to talk about that. I'm not ruling it out. Again, Dylan Gabriel isn't exactly the most, a healthy, stalwart quarterback. We'll see how that changes out throughout the season, though. Number 30, I got the Giants. They're not very good. Again, they put up a pretty bad performance against the Saints. The difference in them and the Browns is they're actually a pretty talented team in a lot of ways. Again, losing Blake Neighbors was a massive issue last week, but I still think Darius Slayton could be a guy that can at least kind of subsidize some sort of game plan for their passing game. But outside of that, their running game was pretty underwhelming. Again, Cam Scadabel, I already talked about, had a little bit of a rough week. Their defense wasn't actually that bad. Just in coverage, they had some lapses, again, which kind of killed them. But overall, this is a Giants team that has a strong defense and an offense that, again, if they're not turning over the ball 5 times a game, should be able to win games. And especially last week, that was a game they should have won. And again, they didn't win it, but again, game they definitely should have been closer. Again, show you again. You can go watch the recap of this as well. You get a full picture, but this is a game they should have been closer in. With that said, at 29, I'm not mistaken, I think I do have the Titans, right? Yeah, Titans. Guys, I got to preface this. Congratulations for the Titans and their first win of the season. And they haven't won since November of last year. So again, awesome for them. But they still didn't play very well at all, guys. This was a very typical Titans game. Again, more on Brian Callahan there, where they're not playing good football. This is they're making a lot of just bad mistakes. They're, again, not talented in the first place as well. Again, if it wasn't for some pretty crazy plays and, again, they're talented players making some plays, they would have lost this game. Again, they should have lost this game. So I don't want to trying to I don't know, stomp on your, again, victory there, but that's kind of how that game went. 28, give me the Saints. They're also not very good, but again, similar to the Giants. The Saints defense played well. They have some solid players on that side of football. Losing Justin Reed, I thought was gonna be a little bit bigger of an effect. I guess it wasn't in this game, but it looks like in that offense, again, congrats Spencer Rattler as well. They do have guys that can make plays. Again, they should. They have some talented guys there, but I still need to see this offense incorporate some things before I can actually think they'll be somewhat sustainable. And that defense probably won't play like that good the rest of the season. Number 27, I have the Bengals. Cool, they put up some garbage time points. But literally the only guy in that offense doing anything right now is Jamar Chase. Obviously, T. Higgins is a very, very good player, but he hasn't really done much. And in the running game, the offensive line have not really gotten anything going. Again, and the fact they have Jake Brown at quarterback is probably the reason for that. They had Joe Flacco. I don't know, maybe they're starting quarterback. That could change some things up. But this Bengals team has been the worst team in football the past 3 weeks in terms of competitiveness. There we go. Blown out every single week. Their defense hasn't played really that well either in those games. 26, give me the Dolphins. I want to put them lower because they haven't really been playing good football. That was a pretty pathetic loss to the Panthers, but I don't see how that run defense is even close to that bad the rest of the season. Again, their passing game didn't look too bad, again, especially against that Panther secondary that really isn't, again, the secondary that is that bad. Also, again, the running game and the offensive line are the major concerns, though. Again, if you're a Dolphins fan, that is what I'd be worrying about right now, despite, again, you guys being 1-4. He'll probably be 1-5, but I don't know. We'll see what happens for them. 25. I do have the Raiders. They really stink. They've lost 4 straight games. Some of them have been I wouldn't say close game. Well, week 4 was sort of close, right? Yeah, that game they should have won, but still, this is a Raiders team. When they're not playing well, they're playing really bad. And again, when that's the case, it's so hard to stay in games, and that's why they got blown out 2 of the last 3 weeks. So again, until something like that changes, I don't see how this team's gonna be again remotely good. But again, they're playing Titans this week, so we'll see what happens. 24. I got the Panthers. Massive day from Rico Dowdle on Sunday. Good for him. Again, I wasn't expecting to put up 200 yards, but again, he was able to do that. Defensively, they had some very good moments, but overall are still a group that is not very good, especially at the linebacker level right now. And again, we look at that Bryce Young in this passing offense, it's still very ineffective and very not good. So until that changes, or not even changes, it gets even a little bit better, you can't really tell me to take this team too seriously. But still, solid win against the Dolphins coming back there. Again, shows they got some heart. Again, Dave Canales, good for him there. What do we got at 23? Falcons. Again, I didn't move them around much. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Falcons. They got a big win against Commanders last week, though. I think that was because they were playing Marcus Mariota. They realistically should be 1-3, but still, they're 2-2. I think their defense is pretty decent, but that offense still scares me with how inconsistent they've been. Coming off their bye week, I expect a lot more. Definitely a little bit less of, a full blow to start the game, but I definitely expect a little bit more cohesiveness and fluidity in this offense, which is something they've really lacked so far this season, at times at least. 22. I got the Ravens. They suck. I mean, there's really no way around it. Again, if Lamar comes and saves their butts this week against the Rams, I mean, good for them. Lamar's one of the best quarterbacks in football. He'll be a future Hall of Famer. Again, probably one of the best quarterbacks ever, too. So, what am I going to do about that? But their defense is absolutely awful. They brought in, who is it? C.J. Gardner-Johnson, freaking the other dude. They traded for Alohi Gilman from the Chargers. So they're trying to fix things. Zach Orr doesn't exactly have the best personnel right now as well. So, again, I don't want to put it all on him. But still, this is definitely a defense that, again, if they continue to play like this, they will get blown out every single week. And their offense, I mean, again, without Lamar, it's just not going to be very good. There's no way around that. 21, I have the Cardinals. That was bad. They're still not that bad of a team, though. Again, similar to the Rams' performance, that was not the team they should have been. I'm not acting like the Cardinals, again, should have they actually should have blown them out. There's really no excuse for them losing that game. I say 9 times out of 10 that doesn't happen, but it did happen. So, John Gannon also made a big learning moment. Hopefully that is, I guess, not a breakthrough again if you're a Rams fan, but still, breakthrough for the Cardinals, and they're able to build off of that. Honestly, again, even though that was a pathetic loss, I wouldn't be too pissed if you're a Cardinals fan. Again, bad, but at the same time, it wasn't like they came in here and embarrassed you guys in the fact that they just completely outplayed you. Number 20. I have the Vikings. That was not a very encouraging win. But again, when Jordan Addison's making play like that in the end of the game, again, I guess that's encouraging. But it shouldn't have been that close. Your defense, I think, was a little bit on their heels sort of thing. Again, especially for a Brian Flores defense, you don't want that to have to be the case. But other than that, I don't know. Carson Wentz has been decent for them so far. Again, a very weird season so far for the Vikings. But still, they're winning games, which is what matters. See what they can do after a bye. Speaking of bye weeks, we'll get to that in a minute. Never mind. Number 19, we get the Bears. No, actually, speaking of bye weeks here. Other bye week, I expect them to be pretty good. They won back-to-back games. They will be playing, again, with an extra day off as well against Commanders on Monday night. I need to see a very good performance from them to really, again, think they're going to be anything, pretty good this year. 18 Patriots. There's really nothing much else to this. The Patriots are a good team. They proved that on Sunday night. I don't think this is a team that performance will be something we will see consistently out of them just because of how they are, but that was a really freaking good game. And if they, again, play anywhere close to that against other teams, they will be successful. Number 17, I got the Texans. That was a big-time performance, even though it was against a pretty I wouldn't say helpless, but pretty dead horse team. Still, they recovered. They're now I wouldn't say fully recovered, but they're definitely recovering here at 2-3. Again, I'm really interested to see what they do off the bye. But again, this is a team that offensively seems to have found something. Is it, again, sustainable? We'll see. But obviously, they have one of the best defenses in football, which will be something that, again, they can really hold their hats on. 16, give me the Cowboys. They're a good team. I'll say that. They are a good football team. How often is that the case? Really don't know. Their defense still scares me a lot. But again, that offense will be able to put up a lot of points this year. Again, most Cowboys offenses past couple years at times, and again, with Dak at quarterback, have been able to do. 15, got the Steelers. They didn't move. I didn't want to move them. They're a team that screams, I don't know, they'll win some close games, BS, and then they'll just not be able to move ball. Their games and get blown out. So, again, that's what I've seen so far for them. Again, I'd like to see a little bit more true offense out of them. and maybe their defense, continue to do what they've been doing the past couple weeks. 14 Chargers. That was an ugly game against the Commanders. Their offense didn't do anything after the first quarter. They are super injured on that offense. Quentin Johnson has to be a guy that can consistently rely on, though, honestly, in this case. And Lai McConkey's got to figure himself out. If that doesn't happen, they will be really struggle considering how the running game's working out right now. It's going to be a tough road for them. But defensively, trading Alohi Gilman wasn't my favorite move, but I understand what they did with that. Again, Ginga Dafeoe as an edge rusher is a huge move with Khalil Mack on IR. I just need to see this defense consistently generate pressure to really, really believe in what they're trying to do. 13, I have the Jaguars. They looked really good on Monday night. Really just Trevor Lawrence, to be honest with you guys. I don't want to overreact too much from that, but that was one of the better games I've ever seen out of him. Their defense was a little bit concerning at times because, again, that Chiefs offensive line, again, I think is okay, but they're not. Some offensive lines should be shutting down one of the better pass rush duos off the edge in football. Their interior defensive line didn't really do much of anything in this game as well, which were issues for me. But still, this is a defense that is very talented, and I expect them to play better next week, but it'll be very interesting to see what they do against Seattle. Number 12, I do have the Niners. I wanted to put them higher, but realistically, again, I couldn't really do that because of the state they are in right now. They're not getting Brandon Ayuk anytime soon. Until that happens, I don't see how this offense, again, even with Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings, will really be consistently putting up legit points. Last week, crazy good performance by them on that short week. Their defense balled out. But, guys, they still got dominated for like 80% of that game. Again, there were a lot of things that happened that if, I don't know, they maybe just more likely wouldn't have happened, they would have lost this game. But still, they won the game. They came out. They outplayed the Rams for a quarter there. And again, just realistically, that's why they won the game. But still, I'm not as, again, like receptive to a win like that as some other people would be. Like, oh, they beat the Rams at home, like all that. Niners are basically home when they're in SoFi, and they're division rivals, and the Niners most of the time play well against the Rams. That's all I'll say there. 11, I have the Seahawks. That was a tough loss. I still think they've been playing better football than the Niners overall since they met in week 1. But this is a good football team. Not a pushover by any means. They're going to be a team that you have to play really hard against, or you're going to get beat up bad. You might not get blown out, but it's definitely going to be a game where you're not going to be in control of. So Seahawks are 11 for that reason. Sam Darnold looks really good. Again, we'll see what happens when he starts to get pressured, but that's what I got there. Number 10, I have the Packers. Honestly, guys, the reason they're here is because they're a decent team, but they have not looked that good as of recent. So, I don't know. Played good against the Bengals, I guess. Number 9, give me the no, that's the Commanders. We're on the Chiefs now. Chiefs are 2-3. Again, they have a losing record, and you're like, how are they still in the top 10? Because I'm not too concerned about them. That was a game, again, they absolutely should have won. Again, if they're able to get on the right side of the statistical spectrum of those one-score games, they'll probably, again, start winning a lot more games. But still, I'm not that concerned about the Chiefs right now. Their offense looks a lot better. I just need to see, again, getting Rashid Rice back will definitely help some things, but they do need Mahomes to be a lot more accurate on deeper throws and really start to, again, advance on those reads, as well as this defense consistently being able to take advantage of certain mistakes. Number 8, or miscues. 8, we got the Commanders. They had a really good performance. Their defense looks way better than I thought they would, at least after that last week. Their pass rush was all over the place, as you might expect them to against a really banged-up Chargers O-line. Their offense wasn't anything crazy, but again, they made the plays they needed to against some big plays as well, so good for them there. Again, they now moved to 3-2. Number 7, give me the Broncos. That was a statement victory against the Eagles. Huge win, but most of the time when you're down by 14 against a contender, you're not on the road, you're probably not going to win. So I kind of chalk that up to, I wouldn't say being lucky, but again, getting the right situation, again, with the Eagles not playing their brand of football. So that's what I'll say there, but still, huge win for the Broncos. I'm not going to overreact too much to this. This is still a team that I'm not too again, all in on, but still, this is a team that, again, huge win for the Broncos. Their defense looks so good. Keep it up. 6, I have the Colts. I want to put them higher, but I really can't. They have been the most dominant team in terms of their victories so far this season. I don't really think you can debate that. They beat the Broncos. How legitimate that game was, again, can be argued. But still, they beat the Broncos. They've been competitive against good teams. They blew out the Raiders last week. Again, if they're able to do the same thing against the Cardinals next week, I don't know why they can't move up. Indiana Jones and that offense look really fun. Again, they've just been so, again, surprising this year. They deserve to be top 6. I couldn't put them higher than here just because of the other teams and how, again, they're really built. Because I don't really think they're as talented as these next couple teams. 5, give me the Bucks. They are a good team. They win close games on the road. They are going to pull those out. Last week, 2 weeks ago against the Eagles, they got outplayed for most of that game. I mean, not the second half, but that is something I think they could have a little bit worried. If they do get down by, again, 2 or 3 scores, I don't know if they're going to be able to come back in those games, which is a little bit of an issue for me. Also, this defense and this O-line are still a little bit off kilter, again, the O-line because they're injured. Number 4, give me the Eagles. They dropped. I don't even think they did drop. Again, that was not a good performance at all against the Broncos, as you might expect in a loss there. But again, the fact they gave Blue an 14-point lead, a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter was very concerning. But still, this is an offense. Again, at some point they're gonna have to figure it out because again they are that talented. But until that happens, I don't think I can truly trust them. They still haven't put together a full 4 quarters yet. Number 3, I got the Rams. They dropped a spot. I'm not too concerned about that loss to the Niners. I was pretty I wasn't happy obviously, but I'm not like as concerned as some other people are. That was a tough game. Again, if they do something, if the Niners, again, all I'll say is if they don't go into Baltimore this week or M&T Bank Stadium, again, if Lamar isn't playing and beat the pulp out of that team, I will be pissed. Number 2, I got the Bills. They only dropped the spot because that is a typical loss, again, for an undefeated team, to be honest with you guys. Again, if you're going to lose your first game, that's, again, one of the ways you'd want them to. The Patriots, again, I won't say outplayed them, but they played a great game. They brought their A game. The Bills didn't quite do that. Again, they shot themselves in the foot. Again, for a couple times. We're not really used to ever saying that about the Bills, at least recently. So, again, that's really why they lost this game. Bounce back, pick yourselves up, figure it out next week. Number 1, give me the Lions. They've been the, most dominant offense in football so far outside of week 1, and they have looked really, really freaking good. And I don't know, they just blew out the Bengals. So, they did their job. But still, they might not be here next week. We'll see what happens in that Chiefs game. That is all I got for you guys here in the Week 6 Power Rankings. Get ready for Thursday Night Football, which is going to be a very fun matchup. At least, maybe for one side. We'll see what happens, though. That's all I got for you guys there. Hey, yeah, enjoy the rest of your night.
Open to the back of the end zone, and Kropp comes up with it.
For about 21 years, the Testaverde, they're going for 2. 405 passing yards for White. Hand off to Moore, back to Crowder. They got the 2 to the quarterback, White. And they lead by 3. 2-point conversion. Crowder to the quarterback, and it's 34-31 the Jets.
How about that? You're making your first